Hey guys, and welcome back. So it is 4:36 out here on the West Coast, and it's getting dark. Losing sunlight. I just actually finished for today, but I want to make this video really quickly about why I ban people from my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. And it's no surprise that it happens. I mean, we all have people that we just don't want to fool with and are just we don't want to have them in our inner circle, right? What's up, Tate? And so, yeah, even including myself, like I out of all people, I have people that, yeah, I have a long list of people that I end up having to ban from my page, and it's unfortunate because that's not what I really want. I don't want to hit the ban button or hit the what is it called on YouTube? Hide user from this channel, basically where they can comment, but their comments won't show up on your page on my YouTube videos. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I find myself having to do that because people can be, number one, annoying, negative. Like, I understand some people are angry. You have maybe every right to be angry for whatever reason, but check yourself and understand that that anger ain't got shit to do with me. Don't sit up here and be putting that anger towards me like that. You need therapy, go get a therapist. I'm not your therapist. Let me sit here and direct that anger towards me. And so what really inspired this video was actually, I noticed several things actually on Facebook and on YouTube. So on Facebook, you guys know that I'm pro-black, obviously, and I share different posts relating to black history, black consciousness, and I shared this post recently, well, a couple posts actually, and this guy gonna comment, which he has always been been commenting on my posts, like, I'm like, damn, dude, do you have a life? Because every time I check my notifications, there's like a new comment from this guy, right? I ain't gonna mention no names, but he commented it, and then he went to say, I can't even remember, y'all, because so much has happened since then. See, how I really pay attention to negativity. And yes, I do have some nasal congestion because I'm getting over this cold, but I can't remember. That's the thing. I don't store stuff like that too much in my memory, but I did want to make this video because it's really important. Because I know some of y'all might be like, who I've banned, who no longer have the ability to comment on my posts, like, damn, why I can't comment, or why did she ban me or block me? And so I just want to make this video, let you guys know, like, I'm not the one for negativity, and especially for people when it comes to Black Lives Matter, to be like, oh, well, that's not all white people, like, they try to distract away from the point of the post, Oh, yeah, I think I remember now. So it was a post that talks about, like, the history of the Ku Klux Klan and, black people, and just a maltreatment that black people had to go through under the hands of the Ku Klux Klan, right? It was a picture that I shared on my page. And this guy gonna comment and say, oh, that doesn't teach you anything. That doesn't teach people anything. It just ignites. Basically saying there's no purpose for sharing it other than trying to ignite whatever anger or conflict. And I'm like, no. It does teach people things. A lot of times people, number one, haven't really been exposed to that part of our history, that part of American history, or they try to, like, push it under the rug, like, oh, it didn't happen. No, it did happen, and it's still happening till this day. So let's not forget, you know, like, black people are still being killed at the hands of white people, and they try to dismiss it. So that was that post. And another post I shared where this black woman was killed by this white man because they both were trying to cross, I think, the same lane, and they end up, I don't think they had an accident, but dude got upset and shot the black woman in the head, right? And so I shared, my caption on that post was, why do they hate us? Why do they hate us so much, right? Or something to that effect. And then the same guy, right? The same guy comment talking about, oh, it's not a white or black thing. Like, that irks my nerve when they try to, like, undermine it as if, oh, it has nothing to do with race. I'm like, I get it. You one of those kind of black people, because you just have different kinds of black people, right? It's those of us who are very woke, who see what's going on, and you don't try to hide behind nothing. You don't have to bite your tongue because you're in the face of white people. You are who you are. And then you got the black people that be trying to be Uncle Toms and be like trying to appease white people and make them feel comfortable and safe. And no, it's not that you, as a conscious black person, you're trying to stir up. I'm getting all kind of texts. People like trying to see when I'm coming to New York. But it's not that you like purposely try to stir up stuff. It's that this is the reality that we live in. So I'm not the kind of black person to try to push it under the rug, you know? Like, let's talk about it. And it's not something that's easy to talk about or easy to focus on or to address or to deal with. It is what it is, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed. I mean, no one necessarily wants to dedicate their whole life. Like, I don't think nobody when they're born be like, oh, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a Black Lives Matter advocate. I'm going to fight for social justice. Like, it's so many, like, come on, it's so many other things we could be doing in our life, right? Besides that, but it's a calling, it's an urge, it's survival, it's what we have to do. Once you're waking up and you realize, okay, this is the issue, this is the reality that we're facing, this is just the reality, this is what we have to do. This is part of our survival, you know, going forward to protect our own lives and the lives of future generations to come. Some people don't get it and they like, oh, you just making everything about race, and the things that are about race are about race, and it's not to minimize it. And it really bothers me when black people try to minimize. Oh, it's not. I'm like, I think number one, a lot of times those black people either like they have some kind of buy-in with the white person, so they're probably married to a white person, or they're probably biracial themselves, so it's a struggle for them to admit that part of their identity as a biracial person or a black person who is married to a white person. It's a struggle for them to admit that this is the harm that white people have done and are continuing to do, that there is racial oppression, that there's white supremacy. It's really difficult for them to articulate that, so they try to say, oh, well, all white people are, or not just white people do it, but black people do it too, you know. They try to generalize it, and they don't really want to make it about race. They don't want to pinpoint what it is, and it's like, no. Nah, man. And it's getting dark, y'all, but I'm going to finish this video. It's like, that's what bothers me, and I have a lot of people who jump on my posts and be making those kind of comments, and I'm like, okay, a few times I may accept it and tell them, like, okay, they're expressing their viewpoint, but dude, if you make an effort to do that shit on all of my posts that I share, it's like, nah, I'm gonna have a problem with you. And so for that dude who said that, to say about the black woman who was killed by the white police, so it's not about race, and then the other comment he made about the Ku Klux Klan with the black people in the picture, talking about, oh, that doesn't teach us anything. I just end up blocking his ass. Bye. Now, he can still see my videos, of course, and still see my posts, but he can't comment. Nah, man, you're not about to do that. I don't think it's just because of that. Like I said, I give people a good amount of time to get on my nerves before I'm like, you know what, this is just enough. Like, he would comment a lot of other stuff too, just saying stuff that's irritating, trying to disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me, because yes, we all have our difference of opinion, but you know those kind of people that I'm talking about. Like, they only want to get on your post just to start an argument. It's like, dude, get the hell on, man. I ain't got time for this. So that's Facebook. Now on YouTube, something similar kind of happened where I just made a video about why are black men intimidated by black women's success. And so I've been getting, actually today I think it happened, where I got a few comments. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me try to get some sunlight, y'all. But I just got a few comments recently, and I'm like, what? What? Like, It ain't make no damn sense. Some people are just ignorant as hell, and that's the reason why I don't really be feeding into a lot of that stupid shit. Cause motherfuckers just ain't making no damn sense. But hold on, let me find a place, y'all. This cold, man. I actually got it like Saturday, and when I say I had a client that was sick and was just sneezing and coughing, and I ended up, I think that night, going home, and I had a really high fever and body aches, and it was just, it was terrible, y'all, but your girl gonna survive. So, let me finish this video. So, yeah, so the comments were just stupid as hell. Dude talking about, it was like different guys, right? I guess they call themselves trying to answer my question. So, and these are black men, by the way, and I'm just like, how disrespectful. One guy gonna say, that's the thing, I don't even remember exactly what he said. I can just kind of give you guys a gist. But it was like, black men aren't intimidated by black women's success. What the fuck did he say? Just, he says, it was dumb. It was some dumb ass shit. And then the other one was like, he said something about my hair. It was like, oh, stop swinging that fake hair. Like, just all negative stuff. And that's the reason why I don't remember y'all, because, hey, I don't, it's good that I remember, because I don't pay attention to stupid shit like that. I block it. I just block it completely out of my freaking memory, out of my space. Like, why should I have to remember something like that? You're being very negative. You're being very demeaning. So you get blocked. So, y'all see, I'm trying to remember what these people said, but I cannot remember it, because why should I have to remember his negativity? But it was very demeaning. It was like, oh, you don't probably make that much money. Nobody has a reason to be intimidated by you and all of this. And I'm like, well, apparently you confirming my point, because you just being negative. You're not saying anything positive. You're not saying anything encouraging or supportive. You're being very demeaning and disrespectful, which is proving my point. You know? He's like, just because you in school don't mean that you're successful. You know, that don't mean that you're gonna get a high paying job. And I'm like, first of all, I'm already successful. Dude probably don't even know shit about me, so that's his own assumption. But, and somebody else commented, was like, yeah, black women think that black men should just congratulate them. Black women just want to be congratulated for the basic shit. Like going to school, getting a college degree, getting an apartment, buying a house. Stupid. I left that comment up actually because I was like, okay, he wasn't completely like disrespectful, and I get that he was trying to make a point. So that comment I let stay there, and I don't think I blocked him, but it was other comments that I did have to block because it was just rude as hell. One dude called me a black bitch, and I'm like, really? You just proving my point. Like, dude, who are you? But I get it. I said that obviously there's some anger behind those words, and you can't attribute that anger to me. There's nothing I can say or do to make you that angry. Dude accused me of bashing men in that same video, saying the video that I made about why are black men intimidated by black women's success. He accused me of bashing black men. I'm like, this is not bashing. I was asking a legitimate question. I'm making a video out of curiosity, trying to figure this thing out. But you say that I'm bashing? I didn't bash any black men. I didn't demean black men. I said, if anything, I asked for help, saying it would be more appreciative if you guys were able to support us and encourage us, and vice versa. It goes both ways, right? Go back and watch the video, but tell me specifically where, and leave a quote on how I bash black men. It's like, nah. You're really proving my point, because if you watch a video like that and you feeling some kind of way, it ain't because of my words. It's because your ass really do feel insecure, man. You feel insignificant towards a black woman who has success. And it makes sense that how a person could feel that way. You need take race out of it and take gender or whatever out of it. It's just the whole thing about classism, which somebody actually talked about. A person, yeah, you may feel insignificant, insecure towards a person if you don't have as much money as they have. Like, that makes complete sense, right? But I feel like this is where we have to check ourselves. Because, yes, society has put on, like, given us or defined these constructs, right? About what it means to be rich, what it means to have money, what it means to have education, and what it means to not have those things, right? And so you internalize those beliefs, those constructs, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way. And then it impacts how you treat other people. And so, to the guy who commented, I think, on my Facebook page in response to that, like, he had made an assumption to assume that just because I'm college educated, that I treat black men a certain kind of way, or it affects who I choose to hang out with. And I'm just like, dude, being me having degrees don't shape that. I mean, yes, in a way it kind of does, because it shapes, like, I told him, like, yeah, it shapes who, it has shaped who I am, right? And then, yes, it's going to affect my inner circle, hello. But at the same time, I don't exclude people just based on, oh, do you have a degree? Like, that's not, yeah, I tend to hang around people, other, like, people, other intellectuals, other people who have college degrees, other people, whether you're like, yes, that makes sense, because that's just my social circle, by definition of proximity. But it's not that I exclude people who don't have those things from being a part of my inner circle. Like, dude, I say, if anything, yes, I'm very much attracted to intellectuals, but you don't have to have a degree to be an intellectual. And how can you make me feel guilty because I'm attracted to somebody who turns me on intellectually? That ain't got shit to do with me having a degree. But it just goes back to the original post. Like I said, like, black men feel some kind of way, right? And for people to say, oh, a black person or a person, period, should not be congratulated for their success if they get even a college degree, or let's say they get their first apartment, or buy their first home, or get their first car, you know, like, he's like, oh, dude gonna say, oh, that's just basic shit. Okay, it could be basic shit, but it's still an achievement, and it doesn't mean that you have to bash somebody because they're celebrating their own success. Black people can celebrate when a person get released from jail, but you can't celebrate a person getting a college degree. Like, why is it that we can't encourage each other? That's the biggest issue that I have. Why is that such a bad thing? Why is that so difficult? You have literally black people that eat them up inside when you see another black person talking about their degrees. It's like, oh, here you go talking about your degrees again. So fucking what? That, you know what it takes for that person to get that degree. They work very hard for that. That's their sense of accomplishment. Why would you try to take away from that? And I even talked about that in my last video about, you know, why are black men intimidated by black women's success, to say that, okay, it's a reason why then you have some people that choose not to have that kind of social circle, that they choose not to associate with people who, let's say, don't have college degrees, because they can't relate and they are jealous. All this jealousy and envy, you should not be jealous. And it's not that people who have this success treat them or see them less than. No, if anything, usually it's a reverse. It's that the people who don't have, they look at the people who do have, and they just like, oh, you think you all of that. They feel some kind of way about them, their own self, you know, and they start treating the people who do have, like, they put them on a pedestal. You get what I'm saying? So that creates this bi-directional process. It's a cycle that you create, because that's in your own mind what that means to you for a person who has money or has success. And then for the motherfucker that gonna comment on my YouTube channel talking about, you probably got a whole bunch of student loans, or you probably ain't got no money, you gonna ask me something, what's your income? None of your goddamn business what my income is. That's none of your freaking business. I don't have to publicize that. But either way, I mean, that's not the point of the video. But for him to say that, it's so clear as day that he feel insecure. Like, dude, feels you so insecure in yourself that you have to sit up here and try to put me down, because that was not the point of my video. I didn't put black men down. I asked a very legitimate question. Hi, Mark. That warrants an answer, an honest answer. But for you to come back to say, "Oh, you probably ain't got shit," or "you," oh shit, hold on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, it's like, for a dude to respond, for men to respond in that way, like, "Oh, you ain't got shit," or "You got fake hair." Number one, this hair is all real, baby. I don't have to prove nothing to anybody. But that's a very ignorant comment. What make you think my dreads are fake? No, sweetie. I find that to be very interesting, though, just the reaction, and it validates my point that I'm making. Like, dude, it's not about black women versus black men. So I think that's how dude took it. Like, dude automatically like, "Oh, we're black women." It's not that black men are intimidated by black women. Black women, they just be bragging about basic shit. Like, you trying to start an argument. That's not the point of the video. This is a legitimate question, because that's an issue that people experience in the black community that needs answers, man. Like, seriously, I have yet to get a legitimate answer from a respectful black man to understand, what is it? You don't have to be intimidated by a black woman's success. But men are. That's a reality. And for men to get defensive, like, "Oh, I'm not intimidated. It's just y'all brag about basic shit." You proving my point, dude. Because that goes to show you can't even acknowledge the success that a black woman has and appreciate it. You're depreciating it by saying it's basic. So you're proving my point. You don't need to spend time responding to nobody. People will always talk. Absolutely right, Mark. Absolutely right. And somebody else said that. It's like, "Oh, why did she make videos about comments that she received?" Number one, because I get inspired by all kinds of stuff. Whether it's a comment that someone leaves on my post or my video. Not that I respond to everything. Trust me, believe it, I don't respond to everything. I get all kinds. I get hundreds of comments daily on Facebook and YouTube. I don't respond to everything, but certain things, yes. If it strikes me, if I feel passionate about the topic, then yeah, and I maybe come back and do a part 2 to the video, because it's something I feel passionate about. And it's inspiration for me. But no, I don't respond to, I can't. I don't have time in my day to respond to everything. Most of the comments I delete when they're disrespectful. I just block and delete the person. And people are like, "Oh, you want somebody to agree with everything you say?" No. Go to my post. You'll see people disagree with what I post. It's okay to disagree. It's in how you do it. It really is. Some people don't know how to disagree. The only way they know how to communicate is disrespectful. They have a lack of social skills and communication skills. But y'all know it's getting late. I hate that it's getting dark. It gets dark early, y'all. I'm all tongue twisted, and I need to go get me some food. I'm hungry. I have read your comments on your page. All I can say to you is be focused on what you are doing. Not everyone will agree with you. Absolutely. I know that. That's common sense. You don't have to tell me that. I know some people, I mean, that's the whole beauty of life, is that we have a difference of opinion. It's knowing how to present your difference of perspective, though, respectfully. I think that's the biggest challenge, because people will have a difference of opinion than what you have, right? Because I know I'm very strong in my belief system, and so I'll present something that I believe in, right? My perspective, and people, of course, want to share their perspective. But the issue is that people don't know how to do it respectfully, because they may feel very triggered by my perspective and the way I said it, right? Or even not just my perspective, or just the topic itself. They may feel very passionate about it. Like, they respond to me in a certain way that's very disrespectful. And it's like, no, we're not having that. Not as much as I can control it. I'm going to block your ass. I don't have to deal with that shit on my goddamn page. I really don't. I don't care if it's 1,000 comments motherfuckers leave. and it's disrespectful. I will take the time to block and delete all 1,000 comments, and it's not just blocking the comments, but it's blocking that person because I don't like that negativity in my space. That's just it. Some people may be like, oh well, that's just part of. Nah, I don't have to deal with that shit. You're not about to sit up here and because you got some people that they do that shit every single. They will come back every single day, all throughout the day, just dropping. Nah, I teach people that my space that I've created, my page, my brand is about positivity, man. You can be yourself, you can be honest, but know how to present your difference of opinion respectfully. And we good. And that's it. I gotta go, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all guys later. Y'all feel free to share your thoughts below. I ain't gonna tolerate that. Not in the virtual world, and definitely not in life. Not that, yeah. Hey, but that's it, y'all. Catch y'all later. And I'm so happy. I only got one more week of class. Next week is the final week of this semester, and then I go on break like December 16th. I'm going to be in New York for 3 weeks. I'm so excited. Just go back and watch the beginning of the video, Mark. You came late. You ain't really missed too much. Pretty much was saying the same thing. Yeah, but I'm going to catch y'all later. Love you guys. Bye.